Mike Lewis, he's wrong. Get your text line ready at 98973. Mike Lewis now will explain why banning vaping will do more harm than doing nothing.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an
extremely stable genius.
Okay, then.
To suggest that that is the only opinion that matters and the static opinion, and it hasn't advanced from there, is incorrect.
Now tell me I'm wrong.
Washington's ban on vaping will do more harm than no ban at all. Tell me I'm wrong. On October 10th, faced with 29 vaping-related deaths, a number that now has grown to 30, Washington Governor Jay Inslee banned flavored vaping products in Washington state. The rationale was twofold. At the time, we didn't know what was inside the vaping juice that might be killing and seriously injuring people. And two, it appeared the flavored juices, such as mango and bubble gum, were enticing teens to vape. Today, one in 5 high schoolers in America says they vape. It's a problem, no doubt. But ask yourself this. Why is it that in Great Britain, which has the same per capita number of adult vapors in the United States, not had one single death? And while you're at it, ask yourself this. Why is it the teen vaping rate there, even with flavored juices, remains far lower than in the United States? The answer, as it turns out, is regulation, not bans. And this is the lesson we know very well because we learned it first from cigarettes and smoking. In the 1950s, more than 55% of Americans smoked. By the 1990s, with the help of stepped-up regulation, relentless health awareness campaign, and a decline in legal advertising, tobacco use had begun to decline. But teens continued to smoke. By the late 1990s, the Centers for Disease Control reported that 35% of high schoolers smoked. Every public high school in my hometown had a smoking area. But steep taxes on smokes, coupled with the national teen vanity, not mortality, began to take effect. Today, fewer than 10% of teens smokes, while only 14% of adults do. It's considered the greatest public health victory in U.S. history. Even so, 1 of every 5 American deaths still can be blamed on smoking. This means 500,000 people a year, 1,300 people a day die from a completely preventable condition. This is more annual deaths than vehicle accidents, alcohol, illegal drugs, suicide, and murder combined. Then came vaping. Originally, it was touted as a harm reduction solution that could reduce those deaths. It soared in popularity, and for the first few years in the U.S., led by Juul, smokers by the thousands turned to vaping as a way of managing a nicotine addiction while not ingesting the 39 carcinogenic chemicals that hitch a ride on every smoker's inhale. But what did we not do with vaping? Regulate it. But that's what the Brits did. When vaping began soaring in the UK, the British government did 2 things. It limited the chemical catalyst in the vape oil, also called juice, and it strictly limited the amount of nicotine. This did 2 things. First, the vitamin E acetate, which is blamed for the injuries and death in the United States, was never allowed in British vape juice. Second, and less noticed, was a sharp restriction on nicotine. Not a restriction on flavors. The British government restricted the amount of addictive chemical in every milliliter of vape juice. This means teens who vape are much less likely to feel compelled to continue. Many teens there try it, drop it, move on. In the U.S., with completely unregulated nicotine percentages, also led by Juul and its patented nicotine salts, kids vape, get addicted, and continue vaping into adulthood. The restrictions on flavors isn't the answer, and we know that. But regular adult smokers, when the chemicals in the juice are regulated, vaping is objectively way safer. No major health official says otherwise. The Washington State ban on juice is a mildly effective political ploy, but as a health matter, it's all smoke.
That's your opportunity to tell Mike Lewis he's wrong. You get on 98973, you say, Mike, you are absolutely wrong, and then you tell Mike Lewis why he's wrong. And then Candy, maybe I'll read some, but mostly Candy, will read in a dramatic recitation your condemnation of Mike Lewis's editorial statement on this program. 98973. That's coming up. Let's get a traffic report now from Tracy Taylor, brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino.
Left lane's blocked on westbound 18 as you approach Auburn Way. Left lane's blocked on the